In real-life contexts, it's important to note that evading police is both illegal and extremely dangerous. Law enforcement uses coordinated tactics, including air units, surveillance techniques, and specialized training, making successful escapes extremely rare. However, reckless drivers and car thieves also employ tactics that hinder arrests. Here are 6 chases in which suspects successfully evaded police pursuit. Let's review the escape tactics used by the suspects in this video, each of whom chose a place or method to hide or escape. Corvette flees authorities at speeds of up to 140 miles per hour from Inland Empire to downtown Los Angeles. A stolen Rolls-Royce, valued at approximately $450,000, led California Highway Patrol on a chase through Arcadia, Pasadena, and East Los Angeles. High-speed chase for a stolen Jaguar. Chrysler driver flees police in his car. Driver driving a BMW on Highway 101, causing a rear bumper collision while fleeing the highway patrol. Finally, a pickup truck driver wanted for speeding flees from the police to the city center. On the freeways, the Corvette reached 140 miles per hour during the pursuit, evading capture in downtown Los Angeles, despite multiple helicopters involved in the chase. A driver in a blue Chevrolet Corvette led authorities on a dangerous, high-speed chase that ended in downtown Los Angeles on Thursday night, February 22, 2024. The chase initially began in Pomona and entered San Bernardino County before the driver returned to Los Angeles County. The driver was wanted for a vehicle law violation and driving without a license plate. The fleeing driver in the Corvette swerved dangerously across lanes, nearly hitting other cars on the road.
So this back to the 60 freeway, and we've seen this a couple times. We've seen this driver use various freeways, stay on them for a few minutes, and then get off for a little bit, and then turn back around and get back onto the
Corvette driver was traveling at speeds in excess of 100 miles per hour through the Inland Empire, the San Gabriel Valley, and Los Angeles. Shortly after 11 p.m., the suspect sped down highways 210 and 605 in the San Gabriel Valley, reaching speeds in excess of 140 MPH on Highway 605. While driving on Highway 10 in the University Park area, the suspect veered dangerously across lanes, drove recklessly, and nearly struck other vehicles on the roadway. The suspect eventually moved onto surface streets in downtown Los Angeles, where authorities continued to pursue him. There, the suspect appeared to flee from law enforcement and evade capture.
Yes, and I heard you ask what violation he possibly was being charged for in the first place. Do we know that information yet?
No plate.
Okay.
We presume it's no rear plate, because I don't think we even have front plates on a Corvette, although you're supposed to have front plates on all cars. And of course, obviously after that, the speed. And it's just been amazing, the level of speed here, and the fact that when he was on the surface streets, Gabe, he could out-accelerate the pursuing officers without any question. This thing could go over 60 in probably 3 seconds. So whatever he's able to, the car is going to take him a long way in terms of trying to get away. But it's the level of skill that he has behind the wheel that may determine whether or not the sentence is tragic.
Yeah, Mark, so we believe this is going to be a Chevy Corvette, obviously. I believe Rob, our photographer, did a zoom in earlier. We think this is going to be a Z06, a Z06, and those vehicles speed, but still, these speeds are incredibly excessive. We'll turn on the speedometer again and see where he's at now. Definitely favoring those triple digits, still over 100 miles an hour, not as fast as we were going earlier with those 140 miles an hour, and that could be because of the curvature of this 60 freeway. On the 210, you have a lot of long straightaways that just go for miles and miles, and the 60 freeway, a little bit of an older freeway that kind of curves left and right, and I would think that, you know, any smart driver would think to make those curves safely and get around other traffic, you might want to let off the gas just a little bit, and I think that's what we're seeing here with this driver. Still excessive rates of speed, going around a school bus there, continuing as we approach the, this is going to be the East LA interchange. We already passed the 710 freeway. As I was looking down on some other information, we're going through the East LA interchange. It looks like we're staying on the part of the 60 freeway that eventually turns into the 10, and this is a complicated interchange with lots of options really for this driver to take, but it looks like we're going to stick with this part of the 60 freeway that turns into the 10 freeway as we kind of go around the south side of downtown. Kind of slowing down a little bit. Look at that. We're under triple digits now, which is kind of new for this pursuit, but there is a lot of volume here. And as we were saying, a lot of chances for the freeway to kind of curve left and right. This is the part of the 10 freeway earlier that was closed a couple of months ago due to that fire into the freeway, just to give you an idea of where we are now. And there was a very erratic maneuver trying to skate around some other vehicles there. As we said, the volume is building, and it's going to make this a little bit more difficult for this driver to maintain those top speeds. As we widen out, you can see that those CHP units, they're doing a good job at staying as close as they can behind this suspect, but they have to keep safety in mind and do what they can to keep the general public safe as we continue to watch this Chevy Corvette, blue in color, out of Pomona, continue these high rates of speed. We're almost through downtown now, so we've gone from Rancho Cucamonga to downtown LA in about 15 minutes, which is just incredible when you think about what a normal commute from Rancho Cucamonga to downtown would take. As you can see there, that's the CHP air unit that has come out of Fullerton Airport. They were able to catch up to this pursuit. You can see that other CHP ground unit doing their best to keep up with this pursuit on the ground. They're not going to let this guy go just because of the erratic driving and the erratic behavior that we've seen from this guy. Now we are going to approach the 10 and the 110 interchange. It looks like this guy's staying on the far left side, so as we come up on some traffic, we're going to go under the overpasses there, and we're going to come out the other side. It looks like we're going to be committed to that. Oh, and we jumped the gore point onto a part of the 10 freeway that's actually more of a side connector ramp that you can use from the 10 to reconnect back, use from the 110 actually, to reconnect back to the 10 freeway.
Well,
so kind of a pointless maneuver.
Yeah.
A little bit of a construction zone there. You're absolutely right, Mark. And there's an off-ramp, Hoover Street, but we're not going to take it. This guy saw the construction, running over a cone there, and we're staying on this 10 freeway. Yeah, you're exactly right. And there the cone goes. Now we're using the right shoulder. Now we're back on that number 4 lane. Still high rates of speed, westbound 10. We'll be in Santa Monica in a couple of minutes.
Yes, as fast as he's going, although, you know, the freeway and the traffic volume that he's seeing probably makes it more difficult for him. Certainly, it's probably a lot safer for people that are,
the gore point.
Yeah, safer for if he was on the surface streets and the traffic that he would be running into there, which, as I say that, he
there he
kind of
goes.
gets off, yeah.
Yeah, just as we started talking about those next options, if we continue down the 10, this guy exits. He got off on Normandy and back onto an on-ramp. Looks like we're going eastbound 10 now. So it does appear that this driver maybe thought that West LA was a little too unfamiliar for him, and he's going to come back eastbound on the 10 because that might be a part of town that this guy's more familiar with. And now that he's back on the freeway, we'll probably see those high rates of speed, those triple digits. But now you have to wonder, this guy's hopped a couple of gore points. There's got to be a little bit of damage to that vehicle now, and it might not be driving as well as it used to drive. So I don't know if we're going to see quite as high speeds as we saw earlier in this pursuit, but we're still seeing erratic driving. Crossing another gore point there, this is just a dangerous situation, Mark and Michelle.
Wow. Well, I'm wondering how much of this is joyride and how much of this is, we don't know if the car's been is stolen. We don't have that sort of information yet. All we had was a vehicle code violation that started this, no plate on the car. And they tried to pull him over. Pomona police tried to pull him over, or her, the driver. And the driver took off in this blue Corvette Z06. Top speed, 205 miles an hour. Now, my question, and I think our car guy, Dave Coons, would be able to tell this, a lot of vehicles that may be high performance, Michelle, are
sometimes it gets to the point where they just have to call it. You certainly have a lot more experience with these high speed cruises, than I do. So I don't know if you can speak to kind of when that happens or at what point they do that.
Yeah, well, Gabe
also getting involved because they saw the suspect flying by. So we do keep getting reports of glimpses, but now we're hearing
a stolen Rolls-Royce, valued at approximately $450,000, led California Highway Patrol on a chase through Arcadia, Pasadena, and East Los Angeles.
And it has been driving extremely recklessly, wrong side of the road. That actually got to a point where in the Pasadena area where the California Highway Patrol backed off because of the reckless driving in the traffic areas. You can see that is continuing now. We're very, very close to the, to Dodger Stadium, and you can see this vehicle continuing on. I'm going to bring up the map for you guys here. Whoa, 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 whoa. In just a second here, and then we can continue on and take a look at what's going on. There you go. He's making his way. He's on Sunset, and he's directly underneath us. Excuse everybody. I hope everybody took their Dramamine as we do a little pirouette right there. But this vehicle has been continuing running red lights, doing very reckless driving, and then there was some talk that there may be a weapon inside of the car. As far as that, right now we don't know. I know California Highway Patrol has got a helicopter above it. They're trying to get ground units behind it, and I'm sure LAPD is aware of what's going on, and they're going to get involved here in just a moment. He definitely was on. He was on the 210 for quite a bit, and that's where our awesome Simon desk got a hold of us and said, "Hey, there's a pursuit. We should go." He was on the freeways for quite a while, but then got off in the Sierra Madre area and was in the Pasadena area. Look at this! Look at this! Look at this! Oh, look at that! It didn't, no contact, but that vehicle got really, really close. And this, this reckless driving continues out here. Again, I brought up a moment or two ago that this vehicle, not a slouch of a vehicle. It is a Rolls-Royce. It is a heavy vehicle, and of course, it has the horsepower to match that type of performance that you expect from a car like that. Right now, though, it's driving very, very recklessly. There is no law enforcement behind it, but we're making our way into the downtown area. I'm going to have to work with my pilot, Mike, today to keep an eye on it. I haven't seen him pop out between the buildings. This worries me. I do not want to lose that vehicle. Mike, we're going to have to get more over it.
A suspect in a stolen Rolls-Royce Phantom valued at approximately $450,000 led authorities on a chase in Los Angeles County on Wednesday, August 23, 2023. The chase began in Arcadia before continuing onto the southbound 110 freeway in the Elysian Park area and into Pasadena.
Okay. That's right, and now we're hearing, we're getting information through the through the airship, meaning the law enforcement, that we can pick this thing back up. But right now, this is one of the reasons why, you know, look, there he is. He was right there. This is one of the reasons why they always want to keep the law enforcement on the ground behind him as well as in the air above him. Right now, though, I know this area not super well. There he is right there. And he's going to be southbound and eastbound, continuing on in the downtown area. Now he's on 4th Street. You can read that right there. But this is a very, very congested area. And this would be another opportunity. If LAPD or the law enforcement on the ground had that opportunity, they could maybe get nearby, possibly do some sort of pit maneuver. Even though that is a heavy car, they might be able to do something to bring this to an end. Right now, though, this is a very dangerous situation, a very desperate driver. And, of course, like you said, $500,000 worth of vehicle. Well,
and families, and
southbound.
We're kind of in the swing of things right now. People in their routine. So we're talking about the lunch hour. Some people take their cars, go get lunch in the downtown area, and it's very difficult, as you see right there, to keep an eye on this stolen vehicle because of the fact that when you're talking about downtown, you see those high rises, you see the elevation changes in the streets. There's some tunnels, some paths where it's very easy to lose visibility, as we're seeing right now. But clearly, Stu is doing a great job, as is Mike, the pilot there, trying to keep a track of this stolen vehicle pursuit, which, again, he said started in Arcadia. This pursuit then made its way along the 210 for quite some time through surface streets of Pasadena, and now obviously we've picked it up around Dodger Stadium and into downtown LA. This is so dangerous because obviously a lot of people not knowing what's happening around them, with no alert in place, with no law enforcement following this stolen vehicle right now. So it's very easy to be confused if you're a driver out there to know what's going on. Stu?
You know, I've got the PD ship. I'm looking out the window. I think they're in a completely wrong area. The last time we saw them, they were probably on Broadway or Hill going southbound. That was the last place that I saw them in the downtown area. Now, I got to work with Mike for just a moment or two here, and I'm sorry about the camera work, but we got to find this vehicle, and right now I got to find Broadway. So he was somewhere right over here near 5th Street, and that was one of the last places we saw him. We're going to move a little bit south. Mike, move south, please, Mike.
Yes, you and Mike work together, Stu, to get situated right there as you're listening to multiple scanners, what Stu does up in Skyfox along with the pilots. In this case, Mike, it is very difficult because they are listening to law enforcement scanners. They are scanning the
GTA Grand Theft Auto of a stolen Jaguar, still doing about $120. Westbound on the 10 freeway, coming up on the East LA interchange any minute here.
Dangerous high-speed chase for stolen Jaguar.
Still going over 110 miles per hour. Is he in the interchange? I can't make out. It looks like he is in the LA interchange, transitioning now, possibly onto the 101 freeway, northbound 101. Northbound 101. Heading straight for downtown, over the LA River now. All over the road, all over the freeway, encountering a little bit of traffic now, slowing down for the first time as traffic is slowing down in front of him, and he is did he just get off there? No, that's him. Yeah, he got off the freeway, off the 101 in Chinatown, coming up on Spring Street, a right turn southbound on Spring, coming up on downtown LA. Light traffic as he goes south of the 101 freeway. That is City Hall. Coming up on City Hall. Didn't see him come out the other side of that building. Did he turn? You saw him? There he is. There he is. Westbound Temple. Westbound Temple from City Hall. He was at Spring Street there, turned off, and now he's at a red light over the double yellow lines, and now he comes up on some cross traffic through the red light. Downtown LA, a high-speed pursuit of a stolen Jaguar, continuing now westbound Temple, and he is heading straight for the 110 freeway. Straight for the 110, going through every red light. A left turn, southbound, southbound Fig. This is going to put him onto the freeway, I think. Southbound Fig through downtown LA, and now it sounds like the CHP may be pulling off here. That's southbound Figueroa, yep. Southbound Fig, nobody behind him. A right turn, westbound 3rd. Getting onto the freeway, getting onto the 110. This is going to put him on the southbound side of the 110. Southbound 110 freeway in the heart of downtown LA, continuing now onto that entrance ramp. Southbound 110 freeway, CHP trying to figure out where they lost him here. They pulled back momentarily. We're going to stick with it, continuing southbound 110 freeway through downtown LA. Next interchange is going to be the 10 freeway, doing about 90 miles per hour. Flying, this guy is flying past everybody, now upwards of 100, pushing 100 miles per hour. Southbound 110 freeway, coming up on the 10 in just about 10 seconds. '90 away, here we go. Which agency? Which agency? Which air unit? Christina, you copy? Do you know which agency? You said Riverside Sheriff? Thank you. Mark and Giovanna, here we go. You said Riverside Sheriff? high performance mark and high speeds upwards at some points of 125 mile per hour. This pursuit has gotten so dangerous, it's been in and out of pursuit mode. Started somewhere in the East LA area, possibly in Riverside County. The Riverside County Sheriff's helicopter is up here with us tracking this, what is believed to be a stolen Jaguar. Eventually, CHP got involved. They let it go. He made his way into downtown LA, got on the 101 freeway, then sped right through downtown LA off the freeway, got onto the 110 freeway just a few moments ago, and again, flying at upwards of 100 miles per hour southbound on the 110 freeway. They lost him momentarily. Now, as I mentioned, that helicopter has a visual once again, but right now there's nobody behind this Jaguar. Now, we believe it's a stolen Jaguar. We know there's obviously a driver in there, but unclear whether there's anybody else in there with him at this point. But the driving has been not only very, very fast, but it's been extremely erratic, really weaving across lanes, going through red lights when he was on surface streets, and now showing signs of maybe getting off the freeway again here, using that shoulder to get around anybody in his way. Traffic's moving along here. It's not bumper to bumper, but you can see he is just desperate to flee as fast as he possibly can. He's really pushing the pedal to the metal in this newer model Jaguar, southbound 110 freeway through South LA. Giovanna and Mark. He's trying to squeeze through. Going to squeeze through here. Uh-oh. East on Manchester, under the 110 freeway. Now moving away from us here. He's under the freeway, under the overpass, right? He did not come out the other side. Did not come out the other side yet. This is always a tricky point. It's always a telltale sign. If they're looking to dump the vehicle, sometimes they will stop under the freeway. He's out of the vehicle. The vehicle's rolling. The vehicle is rolling into the intersection. He is on foot under that freeway. He is under the overpass, and there is nobody behind him. He may very well walk away from this crime. Now look at this. That Jaguar, and this is a new one on me, literally just left the vehicle rolling without anybody behind him. There was no law enforcement on scene out here to even take custody of the stolen Jaguar. So somebody's stolen Jag is now rolling through South LA with nobody in it. I can't say I've seen this before. Meanwhile, that driver is long gone, guys. Nobody hurt. California Highway Patrol, look at this. The car is rolling right into traffic. The car appears to be in idle, just rolling through the intersection. Here comes CHP. What are we going to see here? A pit? I mean, God only knows. This is a new one on me, guys. Try and open it up. Is it okay? It's open, and there it comes to an end. Into a pole. Ah, shucks, he says.
Chrysler driver flees police in his car.
What initiated this pursuit? What other charges may have stacked up here, or what led to this pursuit? But we know they tried to pull him over, refused, and took off like a rocket through the streets of through the downtown area on various freeways.
Wednesday evening, August 14th, 2024. California Highway Patrol chases driver of white Chrysler.
Traveling southbound 110 freeway, coming up on the 50s, about 54th Street now, as he continues to weave across some of these lanes here. A little bit less traffic as he gets further south here. A little more congested through downtown. He was doing a lot of weaving, and now you can see he's got a little bit more real estate to play with here, but he's continuing to zoom right by every other car on the freeway here, using those express lanes to try and bypass all of that traffic on the right. Well, Got it. Sounds good. Some more information coming into our assignment desk now. This apparently started as some kind of a drag race in the Covina area, ended up on the freeway. The other vehicle racing apparently got away, but they were able to catch up with this suspect who took off, again, in excess of 100 miles per hour, at times even peaking at 130 miles per hour. You can see that white Chrysler right there is the vehicle in question with an aftermarket black hood on the front there, continuing at extreme speeds, very heavily tinted windows, can't see inside that vehicle. Again, we do have reason to believe that he's at least dropped one passenger off as he made his way through downtown and continued on down the 110 freeway here, now approaching 90th Street. Exiting the freeway. Coming up on Manchester, making a right turn, westbound Manchester. Heavy traffic at a red light, lots of brake lights you can see here. He is stopped in traffic, does not have anybody behind him. But again, California Highway Patrol does have eyes above. We will see what the driver decides to do here, whether he continues on at a safe speed on surface streets or if he continues that erratic driving or perhaps attempts to dump the vehicle. We'll see what happens here. You can see CHP continuing past the exit. They apparently have lost the vehicle, but we have eyes on him. You can see him right there in the turn lane, making that right turn onto Figueroa, southbound Figueroa from Manchester around that Popeyes, and now traveling at a relatively safe speed here. We'll see if anybody catches up. This guy's looking down the wrong road here, right? Is this LAPD? Is that CHP over there and LAPD over here? Okay. Yep, he's on Fig. Southbound Fig. Southbound Fig. I'm sorry, northbound Fig. Northbound Fig. Vehicle traveling with traffic, northbound Figueroa, paralleling the 110 freeway. 2 law enforcement helicopters now flying overhead. LAPD joining the pursuit here with California Highway Patrol with eyes on the suspect. We are trying to keep a visual here as we stay east of the 110 freeway. You'll be able to see him peeking through these buildings.
The chase lasted for several minutes off the 110 freeway, and the driver was driving at a high rate of speed. He stopped at 79th Street off the 110 freeway, then disappeared and managed to escape.
Did he turn, I wonder? Westbound, he made a turn. Westbound 78th. Made a westbound turn on 78th Street. There's the night sun. Could be him there, we'll see. Is that him? Making the U-turn, maybe? Maybe. Kind of looks like him. I can't tell. The hood looks white. I can't tell. Is anybody over him, Johnny? Does anybody have eyes on him? You see some flashing lights there, and it looks like he's made a turn, potentially. All right, southbound Fig. Somebody's got eyes on him, southbound Fig. He's under the freeway, under the 110. Under the 110, right there. That's the overpass. He's right there, under the 110. Coming out the east side. It's on that side of the freeway. Out our right. '79th Street, under the 110. Gotcha. Trying to get a visual here. There is an officer in the area. You can see several helicopters now overhead. It looks like maybe come to a stop on 79th Street, just off of the 110 freeway. It appears that there are units down there attempting to form a perimeter. Yeah, it's unclear whether they have found the vehicle or whether the suspect has escaped on foot. But in any event, it does look like they are attempting to form a perimeter here near 80th and the 110 freeway. California Highway Patrol now getting units into position, but it does appear that this pursuit has come to an end. Of course, if anything changes, we will come right back on the air here on abc7.com. But for now, that will do it for our coverage over this pursuit. Again, Chris Christie up in Air 7 HD. Keep it right here for the very latest on this story and the rest of the day's news coming up on Eyewitness News at 11 o'clock.
It spin out, but the driver was able to regain control. And in the process, the rear bumper was nearly ripped off, and that's why you see it in the condition that it's in now. That was a failed pit maneuver attempt by CHP. So they remain behind the suspect, who is now speeding again, apparently complaining or calling in a dispatch at CHP saying, the brakes don't work on the car, that's why I'm not stopping. Obviously, that is not the case. We just saw the car moving at a high rate of speed on an off-ramp. The driver was able to bring the car down nearly to a stop and went across the overpass and back.
Yeah, definitely past the 101 here on the 170 now into carpool lane.
So we've seen the southbound 405, the southbound 101 exiting the freeway in the Cahuenga Pass, hitting 101 again northbound, and now to the 170 northbound. Looking for wide open road ahead, and the driver has found it here on the 170, moving 90 miles an hour here on open roads with a bumper that refuses to fall off. That the result of a failed pit maneuver by CHP on the 101 freeway just moments ago. Gil, any indication if there's anyone in the car aside from the driver?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that, Micah?
Any indication if there are any passengers along with the driver in this car?
We haven't heard of any passengers in the vehicle. We did know that the driver was talking to dispatchers. So we don't know if, we haven't heard from the CHP if there's additional occupants in the vehicle, but that bumper becomes a problem.
Driver wanted for speeding evades police. After entering downtown Los Angeles parking lot, the California Highway Patrol pursued a red pickup truck for speeding. The red pickup truck was traveling at 100 miles per hour on the freeway before entering Los Angeles, driving on the wrong side of the road in downtown Los Angeles. The California Highway Patrol began the pursuit in West Covina and said the driver was wanted for speeding. The chase ended when the driver entered a parking lot near Whole Foods at Grand Avenue and 8th Street.